Good afternoon, everybody. This is Anshi, and this is our Emory Wellness Yoga Center for now. And it's our Friday chair yoga class. For today's class, you are just going to need your chair and a block, or a yoga block, or some kind of firm block-like item that you can put your weight on. Okay, so we're going to do some asymmetrical work with the feet, with the hips, to strengthen the hips. We are going to get started though in sitting. So just come into a comfortable seat with your feet touching the floor. And we're just going to start out with spinal movements first in order to loosen up and warm up the spine and the back. So in your seat, start to tilt, so shift your weight towards the back of your sit bones and just allow that shift in your weight to round your back. And then you can let that round all the way to your neck, to your head, and then shift your weight forward on your sit bones and continue shifting forward so you feel your sacrum tip forward and let that arch your low back more. And then you can pull with your hands to let that arch articulate up into your middle back and into your neck. And then you can push with your hands on your thighs and you can let your spine round. So just getting gentle rocking forward, rocking back movement and letting the spine extend, letting your spine flex. Go at a comfortable pace. So the tendency when we do these movements is we're so head oriented that we'll start everything from the neck. So resist that tendency and start it from the sit bones and then let that movement go up to your upper back and your neck. And then again, starting from the lower body. So obviously the muscles in the hips are much stronger and bigger than the muscles in the neck. And so we want to originate the movement from the base rather than tiring out our poor little neck muscles by, driving the spinal movement from the neck and the head all the time. Okay. And then you can choose to take a bigger movement with this flexion and extension by widening your stance, and then you can pull like this to create a bigger extension. And then instead of rounding with your hands here, you can pretend like you're diving down, and this will add in some hip movement, and you can fold down. And then you can come up by pulling from your elbows. Let your head just stay down first, and just pull your elbows towards the back, and then that's just going to lift your chest up. Okay, so dive and rise, diving, and then rising. Let your middle back move first, and then let your head rise along with your middle back. You can choose to dive on your inhale so that the breath expands through your back body more. You can choose to rise up on your exhale so that your abdominal wall naturally draws in to keep your back more stable. Okay, so you can synchronize it, and then you might notice that I started to kind of dive a little bit off to one side and the other. You're welcome to do that as well in order to stretch different parts of your back muscles. Okay. And next time when you rise up, pause and just notice the echo of that movement through your back, body, through your breath. We know that when we take bigger movements, the breath adapts and expands to that. Okay, and then the next final movement that we'll do is we'll do the side bends, and we'll try to open up the ribs. So you can place your right hand into your right ribs, you can put your left hand down, and you can find the side bend statically for here, and then take some breaths over to the right side. Good, and then we'll rise up and we'll level the arms and just take a pause and feel, compare the difference between right and left side. And then we'll ground the right hand. You might have to move in your chair, and then take your hand over up to the left side of your ribs, side bend to the right, and take some breaths into this left side. And you can let the neck, side bend as well. And then we'll rise up, and we'll try to adapt this in the chair so that we vary the side bends. So take your right hand forward. So if you have a bigger chair, you can hold towards the front of that chair, and then side bend to your right side with your body a little bit forward. And then breathe into the left side, and then lift up. Take your left hand towards the back of the side here, and then lean back in your side bend. Take some breaths into this new space in your torso. And you don't have to be rigid. If you feel like, oh, I gotta reach and stretch and make little movements, go ahead and explore that. And then we'll reach out, and then this time, instead of having the right hand forward, we're going to have the right hand towards the back of the chair, and we'll side bend. So we're diversifying the angles of our side bend. Good, and then again, listen to your body. So I'm feeling pretty good like this, but maybe some of you are like, oh, my neck's sensitive. Maybe I want to hold my head a little bit. Maybe the shoulders tight. You can make little circles. So modify for yourself. And then this time the left hand can go to the front of the chair. I've got to move. My chair is a little small. And then side bend, so a little bit more forward, or even to the leg. Okay. Good. And then come back out. And feel your rib basket now after you've opened up those intercostals through all these different angles. Can you get a sense of your breath expanding through this space a little bit more easily? And then the last movement will be a rotation. So we'll place the right hand on the left shoulder, and you can look at your fingertips. And then as you inhale, open out into a half wing over to the right. You can rotate your neck. And then come back to the starting position on your exhale. Okay. So a half wing in prayer so that we get rotation, especially in that middle back area. Good. Take a steady breath as you open up and as you return, going at your pace. The next time when you come back with a hand on the shoulder, slide this hand down the other arm and let your body turn over to this left side. So I'm mirroring you, and then turn your head back to your right side, turn your head back to your left side. So just rotation in your cervical spine and your neck. And take your attention to that high part of your neck, between your ears, behind your nose, and imagine the rotation of that atlas like a disc on top of the axis bone. Good. Next time when you come back to center, you can come back to center with the head and the torso. Take a pause and just let the whole upper body untwist itself. And we'll do the second side. So you can put the left hand on your right shoulder. You can look at the fingertips and then explore opening out into that wing, rotating from your middle back. And then exhaling, coming back, looking down at your fingertips. And as you go here, can you allow your breath to become longer and smoother? Maybe targeting 4 or 5 second inhale, 4 or 5 second exhale, coming back. When the breath is a little bit longer, it helps to improve our heart rate variability. So one way to think about that is thinking it's like the resiliency of the heart pattern and the heart beating. So we want the heart to be able to, speed up when it needs to speed up. We want the heart to be able to slow down when it can rest. Good. Next time when you return, slide this top hand down the other arm and find your rotation over to your right side. And then just your head turns back to the left. And explore your neck range with your middle back turning. So releasing some of the tension in the upper neck, the upper body is really important for our nervous system. Helps to relax the nervous system better. Good. And then next time when you turn back with the whole body back to neutral. And just take a pause and feeling your whole upper body, your spine. Okay, we'll focus on building the breath and core here. So as you inhale, expand your ribs. And then as you exhale, keep your torso tall and see if you can feel your abdominal wall knit in towards your spine as you exhale. So this natural engagement of your core on the exhale. And then inhale, rib expansion. Exhale, natural core engagement. The other aspect as you exhale, so we are sensing that abdominal wall drawing in. The other thing that you can take your attention to is your pelvic floor. As you exhale, can you get a sense of more lightness in the pelvic floor? The sense that the pelvic floor drawing in and up with your exhale. So naturally, that's the relationship between the pelvic floor and the exhale, is that they both go up together on exhale. And we want to check to see if we have this healthy synchronization. Okay, so take your, so when you exhale, you know, once you feel like your abdominal wall is drawing in on its own, see what you can sense about your pelvic floor. And the pelvic floor muscles are attached to your tailbone, to the back, pubic bone in the front, your sit bones on the side. So it's kind of like a diamond area attached to those, you know, those 4 bones. Okay. And then in the squat movements, we're going to ensure this healthy synchronization with the breathing. So take another breath like that with your awareness on your pelvic floor, your abdomen. Okay. And then release all the effort with the breath and just let your body breathe on its own. And just see how that feels. So now we're going to try to recreate half primal squats using the chair. So it's a half primal chair squat. So you're going to use your block over on your right side. And it's, you know, so we've done the squats before like this with some asymmetry, with the feet more forward, to try to simulate some of the positioning of the half primal squat. You can have the foot turn out a little bit. So instead of the toes pointing forward with the regular asymmetrical squat, turn the toes out slightly, okay? And again, give this a try. If it doesn't work for your hip for whatever reason, then you could modify and make the toes more parallel with each other. But we're gonna try it this way first with the external rotation. So we're shifting forward. Can you feel your belly wall knit in as you shift forward, just on its own, yeah? And then let your weight shift into your feet, push, and as if lift up. And can you sense the engagement of your core, and then shift back down, okay? Shift forward, push as if you're going to come up. Feel all that engagement in your pelvic floor and your belly wall. Okay, and then now we'll actually get up. So push and exhale up, inhale down. If this is challenging and you want more stability, and one way to modify this and have more stability is you can grab a broom and you can have a little bit of stability from your broom as well. Okay, so this is a great regression to build a little bit more stability if you want that. Okay, but we're gonna try a few more rounds of this variation of the squat with this right leg basically more turned out. And so it engages the musculature a little bit differently than if it was parallel. Good, let's do one more. And then come back to your chair and rest with both feet even for a moment. And just compare sides between the difference you feel between the right and the left leg. And then we'll do the other leg high. So a little more turn out with the toes than the regular chair squats. So a little more external rotation and abduction. Okay, and then explore. shifting forward first and just sense your natural core stability. And you feel your belly muscles just draw in, and then pretend like you're trying to get up. Just push down with your feet. Can you feel how it creates this kind of stability in your inner thighs, in your pelvic floor? And then release. Okay, one more time, shift, push down, and sense what turns on. Good. And then when you're ready to go, you go up on exhale so that you're also using that natural synchronization with the diaphragm. Okay, exhale up, inhale down. 10 times your pace. And if you need a little more support, you can use a staff and push with your arms down as well into a staff, a broom. Good. And next time, when you come up, we'll land, so you can step the top foot down. And just take a pause and feel your legs after that variation of half primal squat with the chair. And then we'll try the air squats just 5 times. When I practiced it earlier, I noticed the air squats felt so much easier after doing it asymmetrical. So try the air squats now, and just noticing how your legs feel. Good. And then we're back in standing. And you can, shake it out if you feel like any tension has accumulated, any gripping in the glutes. We'll come to standing by the chair. We'll get hip circumduction in standing today, so changing loads. So you're standing by your chair, and we'll be moving the hip in a circular fashion. So you're balancing on your right side, so you can shift your weight over to your right side, and then you can pull your left leg up with the knee bent. Okay, so that's flexion here, and then open the leg out to the side as far as you can go without turning your pelvis, and then turn this thigh internally, and the foot will just swivel out, and then swing the thigh back as far as you can go, and then swing the thigh forward again. Swing the thigh out, turn the thigh in, swing it out more, and then back behind you, and swing it forward. You can hold on to the chair. You can also challenge your stability and not use support from the arm. And so when we break down the hip circle into all these different ranges, it makes it a little harder, and we have to fine-tune the hip muscles a little bit more, the engagement. Good. And then we're going to reverse. So you can take the leg back. The tendency is, we'll kind of lean forward as much as we can. So keep your torso upright more, and then turn the leg out. Pull the leg out to the side, pull it all the way forward. Explore your circle in the second direction. And you'll find you don't really need to do a lot to feel all that work in both hips. Okay, so one more time. hip circle this way, and then we'll land. You can, actually, it feels good to do an air squat in between, just to work the two legs in symmetry. So you can do 5 here. Okay. And then we'll do the other side. So if you want the chair, you can choose to move over to the other side so that you don't kick the chair as you move through your circles. So when you're ready, shift your weight over to your left leg, and then we're lifting the right leg. Try not to tuck the tailbone, so just the movement in the hip socket rather than adding any spinal movement. And then open out without turning, and then internal rotation, and then swing the leg out more, and then all the way back. And then forward. So your exploration of your range, if there's any pain, lessen the range to see if you can find pain-free range for your hip this afternoon. Okay, so be curious and just, you know, maybe lower that range until you feel challenged, but not any discomfort, okay? And then reverse. Hip extension, turn the leg out, pull the leg out to the side more, pull it all the way forward. Back, turn out to the side, and forward. A few more rounds of these hip circles. Good. And then stand down. Ooh. Good. So if you're up for the air squats, you can do another 5 rounds. And you can even lift the heels up to challenge your balance. If you have a jumping practice, you could even do that, but you want to do it on, you know, you want to land really softly. Okay. Good. And then stand, feel, ground your attention literally down through your legs and into your feet. So noticing when you draw your attention down into the legs, into the feet, what the sense of your body is right now, what the sense of your breath is right now. Okay, next sequence is we are going to strengthen and stretch the hamstrings, and then the glutes again. So we are going to use the block again. Okay, so you can grab, so you can squat down, grab your block, and you want the block to be the, since you're going to be stepping the foot on the block, you want the long way underneath your foot. And we'll start, just trying to figure out what's the best angle for you to see this. All right, so I'm going to balance on my right leg, so I'll guide us through the right leg first. So block on the right side, and actually you want the block in the middle of the chair, because we're going to be balancing like this. Yeah. Okay, so you want, make sure your chair is nice and stable as well. Standing in front of the chair, adjust, and then hip hinge, place your hands down. On your chair, you can hold to the side, or you can have your hand on the chair seat. Okay, and then from here, shift your weight onto your right foot, push down, and lengthen that right leg so that your left foot hovers off of the floor. Can you feel your belly wall just drawing in, okay? And then relax the engagement to let the left foot lower, and then push down through your right foot to let the left foot rise, okay? Release to lower the left foot, push down through your right hip, and let that left hip rise. Release, push down. So it's a variation of hip hikers where we're in a forward fold. So that stretches the hamstring, works the hamstring muscles more. So it's not like this kind of action, it's pushing down in the right hip in order to get the left hip to be level with the right. Good. And then keep the left foot parallel with the right foot, and then lift that left leg back, hips level, and then slowly swing the leg forward and gently kick an imaginary block, and then extend, and then gently kick and extend. So working the muscles in the back of the leg and then the front of the leg. Okay, one more time. And then slowly step down. Step your right foot off of the block. Walk your feet back and stretch out in a forward fold with your legs level. You can slowly turn the neck, the head, if you notice any tensioning there. Good, and then bend those knees, shift your weight all onto your feet, and rise up. And just take a little bit of a walk around. One side is going to feel a little bit different than the other. So I definitely feel the hamstring, especially towards, the attachment with the glutes, a little bit more awake on the right side. Okay. And then let's do the second side. So you want to balance on the block and then adjust so that you're not askew with your chair. You're kind of centered with the hips and the chair and the hands. Okay, so make sure you're nice and stable. Hinge, hands supported, and then push down through your left hip so that your right foot will lift off of the floor. That work with the pushing down so that your right foot can lower. Okay, and then push that left hip down and the right foot will come up and continue. So the work is through this booty here and the hamstring on the left side. Nice and slow and control. So control the ascent and the descent. So you're not just popping down really fast. Okay, so control it so that your abdominal wall is also helping you with the lift of the hip. Good. 3 more times. And as you push down, can you sense how, you're pushing down all the way through the feet, but the arch isn't collapsed on that left foot. It's lifted. And then parallel the right foot with the left foot and lift that right leg back, and then slowly swing it forward and kick an imaginary block. Swing it back, swing it forward. So working opposite the front and the back of the hips as well. Good, couple more. And then when you are ready, you can step down. And like you did before, step the left foot off of the block. Walk your feet back and lengthen your back out. Release any tensioning in your neck, your head. Take some sighs out here through the mouth. Good. And then bend those knees more, squat. And then move forward, plank pose. Move back, squat dog. Move forward, plank. Move back. You can progress this, so if you're feeling pretty stable here, when you go to plank, you can progress by lifting one foot up, lowering down, coming back to the squat, coming forward to your plank, stable, and maybe lifting the other foot and squatting. So your choice. You can add in that asymmetrical, so lifting a foot up as well, or you can continue and just keep both feet down. Okay. And next time, when you come back, shift the weight all into the legs, rise up, and we'll shake out the upper body as well, so not letting any tension accumulate in the shoulders, in the wrists. Good. All right, so last sequence here is a balancing cat. So we have to work with the chair, you know, make sure you don't smash into your chair back with your fingers. So it won't be the perfect balancing cat where, you know, the leg is forward and the arm is back. You have to modify your reach so that you don't hit the chair. Okay, so from here, you're hinging back down. Hands can go on the chair. We'll balance on the right leg first, so you can lift that left leg back, and then it's going to be the opposite arm that comes up, so you can lift your right arm forward, yeah, and then we'll make it dynamic, so you can take the hand to the foot and then you lift back out, and then you can diversify, so you can lift wider. You can come back, you can even take elbow to knee. So reaching in different places, and you can even reach back as well. Okay, so you can forward, reach out, tap to the back, reach out, tap to the front, so that you're strengthening your back body and the front of your body. Good. A modification, sometimes wrists are sensitive, so you could even, you know, balance by holding on to the block. Actually, I wasn't doing symmetrical, but so you can try to change the grip with the hands. And then we'll come down from this first side, shift back, and again, rise up and shake it out. So just swinging, making circles with the shoulders, making movements through those wrists. Okay. And then we'll do balancing cat variation, second side. So hip hinge and hands back on your chair. We'll balance on the left leg, so you can swing the right leg back. You can lift the left arm, And make sure, again, your chair, so my chair is a little, you know, not as sturdy. So I've got to make sure that where I'm placing my weight, it won't tip over. Okay, so be careful with that. And then cross to the front. Stretch out, lengthen your back. And then you can tap to the back. Lift out, maybe wider, a different positioning with the arm, the leg. Cross to the front. Reach. And tap. And just play and explore what your body is capable of right now. What feels good. Somebody have a question? Okay. Good. Yeah. If you can, keep the balance between the arm and the leg. So not shifting back to just a squat. Good. And then ground the both hands down. Step the right foot down as well and squat back. And then shift the weight all into your legs and rise up. And releasing upper body tension, making circles, shaking out with the arms. Okay. And we'll come back down to the chair. And we'll come into a cool down. So we'll take a wide-legged forward fold here with the chair, so you can just slide down and fold over. I'm just letting the neck be long, letting the back basically decompress, creating space between the vertebrae, creating space in the disc. And come back to your breath here. So your breath is always gonna adapt to your posture. So in this forward fold, where do you feel your inhale expand? And where do you feel your exhale draw inward? And then on your next inhale, swing your arms back with the palms up. So just swing your arms back with the palms facing the sky. And then pull your shoulders away from your ears. And then lift your arms up to lift your upper back up. And then lift your arms wide and up. And then exhale, we'll fold again. And we'll swing the arms back. Good, so using that positioning of the shoulders to help us lift up. So depress the scapula, lift, and turn the palms forward and up. Couple more times, finding your range here. Forward fold, shoulder extension. Depress the scapula, retract them, and lift up, and then turn out. Good, one more time like that. And then again, pull the scapula away and lift. And then this time we'll take the hands to the heart. And we'll widen the right leg. Now it's just whatever you can do. So it's like a wide-legged forward fold in sitting with the chair. And then from here, you can come down towards the bent side. So forward fold here, and then reaching that right hand forward. Left hand can stay on your left knee. Breathing into here. And then you can reach your left hand over to that, so this is actually your right hand, so reaching it over to the right side or your left side, so I'm mirroring, so there's a little rotation, okay, and then neutral, looking down to the floor and lifting all the way up. Okay, and then change the feet positioning, extending your left leg out. Okay, so we're cutting down over towards the right side and then reaching left hand out. Take some breaths into here. Good. And then taking that your left hand and reaching it over across your foot with the bent knee. So reaching over and turning your chest towards that bent knee. Breathe into here. And then turn your chest to face the floor and then rise up. Good. And you're back up and sitting. We'll cross the right leg over the left now. Okay. Good. And then you can ground down through your sit bones, lengthen through your spine, and you can find your rotation over to this right side. So you can have the right hand holding on to the chair seat and finding your rotation. Squeeze your inner thighs together to ground your hips as you rotate from your middle back. You can choose to keep the neck, the head still. You can also choose to make gentle rotational movements from the neck. And then we'll turn the whole body back to center. And we'll walk the bottom foot back to its side. And then migrate the top leg towards this figure four. Modify if you need to. If this doesn't work for your body, you could lower this foot on, the block. Be a lower positioning for that foot. Okay, so adjust the height of the foot for your body. Wherever you are, if you are in this position, you want to line up the joints so that you feel the weight transfer down into the bottom of the foot. We don't want the weight to go into this floating knee. We want it all to go down and be grounded. Okay, and then as you're here, some of us might feel a pretty good stretch already in this piriformis, in the outer hip. If you want to deepen the stretch, if you're not feeling it, you can lean forward, but let the weight again transfer down into the bottom foot, not into this knee. Okay. And then for some of us who are super flexible, like if you're like, I don't feel anything here, you could make this foot go higher by putting it up on a block. So that's how you would, you know, intensify the stretch if you're super, or you could put the bottom foot on a block and just raise this thigh basically. Good, take another breath into this figure four, perform a stretch. And then we'll shift away and we can release this leg, and so you could even hold on to the knee to give it some stability as you lower down. Take a pause and compare the sides. And then we'll do the second side. So you can move your right foot towards the center, cross your left leg over, root down through your sit bones, lengthen through your spine, and then keep that length as you rotate towards the top leg. And you can take your left hand, oh, which hand is this? This is what's throwing me off, is because I usually have a watch, and so I know this is my left arm, but I have a hair tie on my right arm too, so, okay, now I know why. So you're turning over to your left side, and again, could be static with your head, or you can choose to make little movements. You decide. And if you want to add a little more work, you squeeze your inner thighs together. And when you do that, you might even feel your belly muscles draw in more. Okay, take another breath here in this twist. And then we'll de-rotate. We'll come back to center. And then swivel the bottom foot, so heel toe it back out to the side. And then find your figure four, whatever that looks like for your knee on this side. It might look different because of whatever is going on. So find a happy stretch where you're not putting any pressure on this knee. Okay, all the pressure goes down through the bottom foot. Flex your toes if you need to as well for more ligamentous stability here. Okay, and then your choice. You can lean more to deepen the stretch through that outer hip area. And just keep finding your joints. So I'm kind of moving around a little bit so I can feel that weight transference down. That way when I lean, I'm stable and I don't have to grip anywhere in my muscles as I stay. If I feel the bones fully supporting me, then the muscles can be more relaxed in the stretch. Good, take another couple of breaths here. And then you can lean back. If your knee needs a little, you can hold on to it and then lower that foot down. Good. Just check in with your body, and if there's any, any last minute movements you want to do before you rest, you're welcome to do that. For the resting position here in the chair, you can just lean back into your chair. If you want to lie down, you're welcome to do that as well. So find a comfortable resting pose. And we're going to just rest and focus back on our breathing. But instead of consciously, trying to move any body parts with it, we're just going to see if the natural rib expansion is happening as we inhale. And we're just going to see if the natural abdominal softening is happening on exhale. Can you feel the abdominal wall just softly draw in? And to help cultivate a longer, steadier breath, as you exhale, I'd like you to try on this mantra. You can say a slow, steady, comfortable exhale as you exhale. And that's a trick. And you can just mentally say it. Just to slow your exhale down. A slow, steady, comfortable exhale. And then let your inhale fill you, receive that inhalation. As you exhale, you can use that mantra, or you can just consciously slow down that exhale. So coming back to cultivating roughly a 5-second inhale, 5-second exhale. Could be a little bit longer if that's very comfortable for you. So when the breath is longer and smoother, it will help to calm the mind down. The mind can be clearer, more spacious as well. And this longer breath pattern also helps with the health of the heart. It improves the heart rate variability. Good. Stay with that longer breath for 3 more rounds. Just very soft, so no straining as you cultivate that longer breath. So you've got to find your happy challenge with that. And then when you're done with those last 3 rounds, let go, receive. And you can put a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly. And just our touch, like safe touch, can also help us to feel more grounded, can help us to feel our body more easily as well. And so feel yourself in this new moment after your practice. What does your whole body feel like? What is the quality of your breathing, the quality of your mind, your emotions? And giving gratitude for all of the ways that you are capable and strong right now. Just acknowledging yourself for all the ways that you're capable. And we'll join the hands together at the heart. take a full breath to heart center and bow your head to your heart. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you, everybody, for coming to practice. I'll be here, so if you want to unmute, if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and pop in. I'm just gonna turn off the other camera, but I'm still here.